And last but not least, let's tune into Smoky Quartz. So Smoky Quartz is an old-time favorite. I'm sure many of you are familiar. It's very similar to a clear quartz crystal, but it's just got a smoky color. So they can vary between being a very light brown, a very light shade of smokiness, to quite dark that's almost black or almost opaque. And it is good to be aware that smoky quartz that are super, super dark can be irradiated or can be enhanced to make them darker, because typically the darker they are, they seem to be more valuable in crystal shops. But there's definitely, because they are a stone that absorb radiation in the earth, just like amethyst, just like citrine, a lot of the quartzes, absorb different heats, and that shifts their color frequency. That can be tampered with by man to make crystals more appealing. So it is good to be aware of that. But essentially, it's the same as true as what I mentioned for the black stones. The darker the crystal, the more light it actually holds, because it is absorbed so much light. And often, we think of clear quartz crystals as holding light, and something like a smoky quartz crystal or a black crystal as being like a vacuum for light, and on some degree it is, but they hold more light than a clear quartz crystal, because a clear quartz crystal actually radiates light, whereas a darker crystal absorbs light. And it's not that one's better than the other, it's just different actions and different ends of the spectrum. And in fact, they're just really beautiful companion stones when you have light giving as opposed to light receiving. It's like the in-breath and the out-breath. You can't have one without the other. So it's really good to acknowledge these qualities, because smoky quartz crystal are also known to be very good for when we're to wear on the body, or to wear on us or have near us if we're around a lot of excessive EMFs or Wi-Fi's, or traveling, if you're in airports going through X-ray machines. It's definitely one of those crystals that can just sort of absorb a lot of that radiation, so you're not physically absorbing it. Because remember, we're a crystal, so we naturally are absorbing and we naturally are radiating. Like, that is our function as human beings. We're very adaptogenic in that way. We do both. But specific crystals, like the darker end of the spectrum, are absorbers. So that's why there's a lot of emphasis on, say, smoky quartz or a black tourmaline or black stones to absorb or take away negativity. But we know really it's all light. It's all light. It's not that it's bad. It's just that some are absorbers, some are transmitters, and it's just knowing the difference. And it can also be really great to really visualize yourself as a crystal, and as like knowing where you are. Are you in a space where you're in an absorption space, or are you in a space where you're in a radiation space? This particular crystal, its single purpose is earth light. So you just think about all these crystals that are beneath our feet in the earth that are storing light. And there's so much light coming from the sun, all the time. The earth is a big storehouse of light, and these crystals hold that light. So I really like to think of smoky quartz as like a light library. And I also really, feel that these crystals, we're attracted to them when we're really wanting to go in. Really, it takes us into ourselves and into the earth, just going down deep. And this is why smoky quartz is a very powerful stone to ground and connect with the earth, to activate, open your base chakra, to use that as your downward focus into the earth. So even if you want to visualize a smoky quartz crystal at your base, or even a double terminated crystal, so it might have a point at the top and then going down, down, down into the earth, connecting in with the storehouses of light, which is in the depth of the darkness of the earth. So it's it's very, very interesting when we think about the function of crystals and how they can help us to expand our light carrying capacity. And in order to expand our light carrying capacity from the sun that comes in through our bodies, comes in from source, we have to be able to be anchored and grounded in. So connected to the earth and receiving and transmitting all in one. So I hope you enjoyed these crystals of the base, little descriptions and more information there in your notes, as well as a few exercises that can help you to ground and anchor and just strengthen your presence and your body awareness and your body nourishment, as well as your earth and the space you reside. Much love.